Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is we bring about topics of a social, psychological, and coaching related history. We try and bring as many of those as we can into the conversation. We've got over 450 uh, different topics available in our archives right now. Hopefully, something that is of benefit to you there. If you are dealing with self image related issues such that we are going to speak about today, I encourage you to get in touch. There's a couple ways to do that. The first and the easiest is on Twitter at PO Perception. The second is going into the About Me section of this here YouTube page and going to my website, looking that up, and kind of taking a peek around that for your own benefit. This can be helpful in kind of getting to where you want to be. Now, this particular audio may be difficult for some people. We kind of acknowledge self-hate. What is self-hate? Where does it come from? And what are the root causes of self-hate and or symptoms of someone who is self-hating? What would we do to ourselves? Obviously, self-image is super important, and a self-hating person has a negative influence and view of themselves. Usually, this comes from social isolation, and it comes from feelings of inadequacy that are just swallowed and then pushed down and then taken to believe to be true. The first way that we can tell that this is a problem is if a person is their own worst critic. The internal voice can be exceptionally damaging. The internal voice can be extremely painful because when we see ourselves in a negative light, we have self-hate. We are critical of everything we do, everything we say, everything we think. This is because we believe that we should be better than we are and that we're not making progress quickly enough. So the criticism of speed of recovery as well as actions and words taken can be problematic. This is born out of insecurity. Single comments or things that someone said months or years ago can contribute to social insecurity. That is the idea that a person is not secure in their ability to react in a, I guess, neutral or non-negative manner to the challenges as it relates to the needs of other people. In the end, it's necessary to look at that for what it is, which is a lot of internal pressure related to the idea of how we should be seen versus how we are seen, and that insecurity is the assumption towards pessimism that we are seen in a negative light. This leads to low self-care, whether it's getting up and taking a shower, taking care of our nails, eating regularly, sleeping regularly, choosing healthy foods, choosing healthy internal language, and giving ourselves permission to look, be, and feel our best is something we virtually ever never do. In other words, if people are going to judge us anyway, what's the point of taking proper care of ourselves? And so the low self-care is another sign that things are falling apart. The next in the line is you never give yourself permission to be happy. So, look, emotional variance is part of human existence, and a person who is more on the side of pessimism is more likely to view the world from a negative perspective. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's right or wrong, it's just the vent towards being negative is more likely for a person who doesn't believe that being happy is possible for them. That being said, if you never give yourself permission to be happy and thereby never allow yourself to have the positive endorphins released from happiness, then the sinking deeper into negative emotions and pessimism is almost an inevitability. This leads to social isolation and personal isolation. Even if you have only a few friends or very limited social contacts, having an interaction with those who you feel are supportive of you is necessary. And isolation, which is the opposite of that, it's the idea that we are being strong and brave through the idea of not burdening other people with our presence can lead to a furthering of self hate and self doubt. The next is faking it. So, this is just as bad as self isolation in a lot of ways, and people don't see it that way. If one pretends to be okay consistently in public settings, they wear a mask and they are not um, honest with who they are and how they are and what is really going on with them, then the public perception of others becomes the mask that they wear. It doesn't necessarily mean that the mask is positive or negative, except the fact that it is virtually impossible to feel completely supported because the people around you never know who you really are or what your motivating factors are. This can cause problems for a number of reasons, not limited to the fact that if a person doesn't see themselves as capable of having support, then the idea of internal isolation gets worse and problems continue to persist. The last thing on the list is the inability or unwillingness to give oneself permission to dreams. Dreams, goals, and aspirations, even if they're larger than life, give us a reason to keep going. Without them, our social connectedness and our desire to continue to be part of the world suffers by default because without the ability to dream, we feel disconnected from the rest of the world. That disconnection then leads to further self hate and all the challenges therein. So, hopefully, this has been helpful. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.